Hi everyone, this is Professor Oaks, and in this video we are going to talk about the simple interest formula. Alright, so here is what the formula is. It is the simple interest. The interest is going to be, so again, that's the amount of the interest is going to be equal to the principal. So principal, and that is actually the original amount that is invested or loaned or whatever it might be in a certain case, times the interest rate, and that will be written as a decimal and not a percent, times the time, and usually that is going to be in years. All right, so Michael got a bank loan at $4,500, so that would be the original amount of his loan at an interest rate of 3.3%, so 3.3%, and as a decimal, that will be 0.033, and for 5 years, so time 5. So what is the simple interest on Michael's loan? So I'll let you try to do this calculation here on your own, but if you multiply 4,500 times 0.033, you will get 148.5, and then times 5, that will be 742.5, so that ends up being, in dollars and cents, $742.50. So there you go. That is the answer today. So let's try another one here. Leah and her sister Olivia got a $20,000 loan from the bank to open a restaurant. What is the simple interest on their 10-year loan with an interest rate of 3.3%? So remember, the amount of the interest on their loan will be the principal, which is $20,000, times the interest rate as a percent, so that will be times 3.3% or 0.033, and then times 10 years. So I'll let you do the calculations here, but 20,000 times 0.033, that will be 660, and then times 10, that will be 6,600. So in dollars, it will be $6,600. So there you go. There is that answer here. Let's try again. What is the total amount owed on a $4,500 loan borrowed for 13 years at 6.5% interest? So this one did not ask for the amount of the interest. It asked for the amount total that was borrowed. So the total amount will be the like the total amount owed, all right, will be the amount that is borrowed plus the amount of the interest. So we have to calculate the interest separately. So we know that the total amount that was borrowed was 45,000, and then the interest will be 45,000 times 6.5% times 13 years. All right, so we have 45,000 plus, if I rewrite the 6.5% as 0.065, then 4,500 times 0.065 will be 2,925, and then I still have to multiply by 13, so that gives me, so 45,000 plus 38,025, and so 38,025 plus 45,000 will give me $83,025. All right, so that is the total amount owed on that particular loan. So let's try again. Bryce borrowed $4,600 for 2 years with simple interest of 7,000, or is it 700? $775.90. What is each monthly payment for the loan to the nearest cent? So this one is a little bit different because what you need to know is that he already knows, right, how much he is actually borrowing, how long, 2 years, and what the interest is. But they want to know the monthly paid, right? Monthly payment, or how much does he pay each month. So remember that the total amount owed was the total borrowed, or the amount borrowed, plus the amount of interest. So don't get tricked at how the problem is worded here, because they told you that Bryce borrowed $4,600 and that the interest was $775.90. So if you add these two numbers together, that means that he borrowed $5,375.90, or that would be 5375.9, but you would never write it like that. You would put the extra zero to make it into dollars and cents. Now, if you want to know what his monthly payment is, all right, so monthly payment, you know that the loan was for 2 years, but because there are actually 12 months in a year, then you multiply by 1 year over, right? 12 months is equal to 1 year. So that would be 1 year is equal to 12 months, so this is 24 months. Actually, you know what, it might be better if I don't set it up this way so that we don't talk about the proportion, because we haven't talked about that yet. But if you want to write it as a proportion or a ratio or something like that, you could. But let's just assume that you know that 12 months is equal to 1 year then, and you I can see that the units of the years actually divide out like this, and 2 times 12 is 24, so 24 months. So then, you know, if you take this payment of $5,375.90, that total amount that he owes or has to pay, divided by 24 months, then that would mean that you would get that, what would he owe here? You just have to do that division, so try to do that division in your head, do this mentally. So, well, alright, so that would be, what was it, 223.995833, and so to the nearest cent, that will be, alright, look at this amount and round that up because of the 5 here, so that would be $224 is what his monthly payment would be. What a time to be alive. All right, let's try another one. What is each monthly payment on a 5-year, $37,800 loan if the interest is $1,200? So let's do this the same way as before. So the total amount owed is going to be the amount borrowed. All right, so the amount borrowed plus the amount of the interest here. So the amount borrowed was $37,800 and the interest is $1,200. So you know that the total amount owed then would be, whoops, if I add these together, $39,000. All right, now I need to figure out what the monthly payment would be. So I know that the number of years would be 5 years. So 5 years. And again, there were 12 months in 1 year. So I'll write this ratio here instead of setting up a proportion to find that, because really you just have to multiply 5 times 12. And if I multiply 5 times 12, I get that this is 60 months of payments that will need to be made. So then I really just have to take the 39,000 and divide it by 60 months, and that will tell me the amount of payment per month. So again, that was how much was paid per month in this last problem here. So 39,000 divided by 60 months of payments. So what will that give you here? Oh, my paper is about to slip, so let me just stabilize this so that you can see this here. But if you take this and you divide it here, you get $650 per month. So there you go. There's your answer for this one. What a time to be alive, right? All right, so let's try another one here. What is the total amount owed on a $75,000 loan borrowed for 25 years with 8.5% interest? All right, so remember the total amount owed. So total amount owed is going to be the amount borrowed plus the amount of interest. So I know that this person borrowed $75,000, and the amount of interest will be the original amount borrowed times the rate as a decimal. So 8.5% is actually 0.085, and then times the number of years, so 25 years. So what do you have here? Well, 75,000 plus 75,000 times 0.085. So you can do that mentally here. That will be 6,375 times 25. So if I multiply that times 25, I get, what do I get here? So, well, this is actually very, very interesting here. So if I multiply that times 25, I get 75,000 plus 159,375. And then if I add these two numbers together, I get $234,375 as the total amount owed. So that's with the person paying back the original amount they borrow plus the amount of interest. All right, let's try again. What is the amount borrowed So that one's asking a little bit of a different problem than what we've had before. On a 2-year loan with simple interest of $258 and an interest rate of 4.3%. So remember that the amount of interest is equal to the amount that was borrowed, and then times the interest rate, and times the time. All right, so here they tell us the amount of interest, $258. They don't tell us the amount borrowed, but they tell us the interest rate is 4.3% or 0.043, and that the number of years is 2 years. So you don't know that amount here. All right, but that's okay. We can figure this out. So let's multiply 0.043 times 2. So that's 258 equals some amount that we don't know times 0.086. And as you know, all we have to do is divide each side by 0.086 to figure out what this missing amount is. So let's do that. Divide by 0.086 on each side of this equation here. So that missing amount borrowed, and again, I'm just using a question mark here because I don't know what it is, but you could use an X or a Y or a Z or A for amount or a P for principal, whatever you want to use. But if I do this division here, I get $3,000 was the amount of interest. Actually, the amount borrowed with this giving $258 of interest. All right, so this would be $3,000 was the amount borrowed. So you can see that right here. What a time to be alive. So let's try again here. So here's another one. How many years would you have to pay back a loan of $19,900 with a 7% interest rate and $20,895 in simple interest? All right, so it wants to know how many years to pay off this loan and 7% interest rate and $20,895 in simple interest. So remember that the amount of, and again, this is just for simple interest. We're not doing anything fancy yet. So that will be the original amount times the interest rate times the amount of time, and we don't know how much time this will be, so I'll put a question mark there. But the amount of the interest they told us was $20,895. The original amount $19,900, and the interest rate is 7% or 0.07. So here, let me focus this in a little bit for us. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll try to make sure this is as clear as possible for you. So now we have 20,895 is equal to, let's multiply the 19,900 times the 0.07. So that's 1,393 times the amount of time that we don't know. So then all we need to do is to solve for that question mark, that amount of time that we don't know, divide by 1,393 on each side. So that question mark is equal to, so I'll let you do this division here. All right, so do that mentally here. And that will be 15. So this is 15 years to pay back this loan here. All right, I hope that you're enjoying this because we're not done yet. So if you borrow $6,300 with an interest rate of 4.5%, how much simple interest would you owe after 4 years. So it wants to know how much simple interest would you owe. So the amount, again, of the simple interest is going to be the original amount times the interest rate times the amount of time. So you know the original amount that was borrowed was the $6,300. The interest rate 4.5%, or as a decimal 0.045, and the time was 4 years. So this is a straightforward one where you just multiply these three numbers together. So 6,300 times 0.045 is, what is that? That's going to be 283.5 times 4. So times 4. So that will be $1,134. So that would be the amount owed. All right, so let's try one more exciting problem here. So this one is what is the interest rate on an 8,008-year loan with simple interest of $5,120? So again, the amount of interest is going to be and that's the amount of simple interest. Again, we're not doing anything crazy here yet. So that will be the original amount times the interest rate times the amount of time of the loan. So the amount of the interest was $5,120. The original amount of the loan was $8,000. The interest rate we don't know, so I'll put a question mark. And the time was 8 years. So I'll multiply 8 times 8,000. So that will give me 64,000. So 5,120 is equal to 64,000 times this question mark, that interest rate that we don't know. And then I'll divide by 64,000. And so then 5,120 divided by 64,000 is going to be 0.08, and that's the missing interest rate. But then if I convert that back to a percent, that's equal to 8%. So that missing interest rate is 8%. What a time to be alive. I really hope that you enjoyed this video on the simple interest formula, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and have a great day.